make some all butter flaky pie crust with me. So in a large bowl, I'm going to go in with some all-purpose flour, some salt, some sugar, and I'm going to sift it to get all of those lumps out. And then I'm going to go in with some cubed butter. I cubed this beforehand and put it back in the fridge so it stayed cold. And I do reserve some butter just like we did with the scones. So I'm going to toss all of this butter in the flour to make sure that each piece is coated with some flour. And then I am going to do the smushing technique. I don't know what this is called. I just smush it. But just like this. So I'm going to do this to every single piece of butter. And once I have that done, then I am going to work those pieces just a little bit more to get them just a little bit smaller, about pea-sized is what you want. So once I have that done, and trust me, your arms will burn once you're done with this. It's definitely a forearm workout. Once I'm done, I go in with the rest of my butter. And these cubes, I do not work as much. I just smush them like I did initially, and I'll show you here. I coat them with butter just like I did before, and I leave it like this. I don't work these pieces anymore because we want them to stay large. They'll give us more flakiness in our pie crust in the end result, and that's what we want. So I will just make a well here, and I'm going to go in with some ice water. I had made a cup of ice water and then strained the ice out. So I have about a cup and a half, I believe, of ice water here. And I go in with half because you can always add more you can't take out. So I just very gently am tossing the flour in the water. And you really want to be gentle here. You don't want to create any gluten in your pie dough, or as little as possible. So then I go in with the rest of the water, and it's I know it looks aggressive, but I'm being actually gentle here. So just make sure you're being as gentle as you can. Try not to develop any of that gluten. So I'm going to dump it out on my counter. It's easier to work this way, I think, more than in the bowl. So I'm just going to keep forming it into a circle and folding it over on itself so I can get those layers. And I do this, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times until most of the flour is absorbed. I'm going to cut it in half because this will make 2 pie crusts. And then I'm going to wrap it in plastic. But, first you have to fight with the plastic wrap, which there I am fighting. But so you're going to wrap it in plastic wrap, and then you're going to form it into like a circle shape and refrigerate it for a minimum of an hour. I think I did 2 here. And then I'm going to dust my counter with some flour, and I'm going to dust the top with some flour, and I'm going to slowly start. I noticed it was really hard here, so I'm tapping it to just kind of loosen it up a little bit. And you can totally do that. That's fine, but do it gently. And then I'm going to just start rolling it out. Make sure you have like a little bit of flour on the side to be able to add flour as you need it, and you will need it. Don't be afraid to add flour. You can always dust it off later. It's fine. But you want to have flour to make sure that your pie crust is still moving and it doesn't stick to the bottom. You'll notice I'm continuously moving my pie crust to make sure that it's not sticking. The worst thing that could happen is you get it all rolled out and it's stuck and you can't get it off. And then you have to like re-roll it. And that's not what you want to do. So just keep adding flour, keep moving it, and you'll be fine. So I'm just going to keep rolling it out here. Um, and I don't know the thickness, to be honest with you. I just roll it until it's the size that I need. Uh, I guess next time I can measure for you guys. But yeah. Um, you can see the like different shades in the dough. That's the butter. That's the layers of butter that we have worked into our pie crust. And that's what you want. You want to be able to see that. I got stuck there, so I'm going to add some more flour and just keep rolling. I'm almost to the size that I want. So then I take my pie pan here in just a second, and I'm going to make sure that it's big enough. I was showing you guys the different shades. Um, so make sure I have enough for my pie pan. I'm going to fold it over and dust the excess flour off, and then I'm going to fold it over again after my daughter draws you guys a smiley face, and then dust the excess flour off of each side. It's easier for me to put it in the pie pan like this, so this is just how I do it. And I have a built-in pie dough pusher with my nub. So if you don't have that, you can use your knuckles or a measuring cup. And then I use scissors to trim my dough. It just, you can tuck it in if you want the extra dough. I just didn't. So I trim off the excess dough and then I just tuck it in under. I don't do anything fancy with my pie dough. I don't know. It's just to me it doesn't matter. So I just tuck it under and then I crimp. So how I'm crimping here, you would use your knuckle where I'm using my arm, push in between your fingers to get this crimping effect. And then I crumpled up a piece of parchment paper and I put it in there with some pie weights. You can use dried beans as well. That would work. And then I baked it, I believe at 375. And I don't even know how long, to be honest. I think about 25 minutes. This is not slowed down. This is how slow you want to pull this out because you want to make sure that you're not ripping up that pie crust that you worked so hard for. This is the finished product. My daughter wanted coconut cream pie, so that's what we made. So flaky, so good. And there's the cross section. You guys try it out and let me know how it works. Enjoy.